I'm a big fan of yours. This is cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of yours, too.
Thank you.
You're hilarious.
Can I say hi, all my mom's friends? How's it going? How are you guys doing?
Are they watching your mom's
They're
friends?
all watching. They're all in the audience. Every one of these are all my mom's friends. Everyone.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. Sharon, say hi to Sharon, everybody.
Yeah. Hi,
She's
Sharon. Yeah, say hi, Sharon, everybody. Hi, Sharon.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Ellen.
great.
She's
All
gonna
right.
be so psyched.
So I can't believe we've never met. Usually I think people think all funny people know each other and all singers know each other, but
Right.
we've never met.
No, well, I saw you one time at a party after the Oscars. My friend Seth and I presented an Oscar this year, and I saw you at a party, but I was too nervous to say anything. There are all these literally, it was like all these really famous people, and then me and Seth, and we were like, I don't know, maybe we'll get kicked out if we start saying you were funny because of this, and then just listing all the cool things that you see Tom Cruise, you're like, Top Gun was awesome. Listen, why? Here, no, don't talk to anyone else. Sit here and talk to me about this for an hour or whatever.
I'm glad you didn't come over then.
No.
No.
It was better for all of us, I think.
And so you have been in so many funny movies. And how in the world, first of all, I mean, to be in one of those, but you've been in every single, how did you get to be in every one of those funny movies?
I don't know. I'm really lucky, first of all. I'm a really lucky guy. And I went to college in New York City, and I would do these kind of plays and storytelling things at this bar. And then they kind of got popular, and people like NYU kids would come and stuff, and college students around the city. And then one day, Dustin Hoffman's kids, Jake and Becky, they became friends of mine, and they came and they saw it, and they were thought it was really funny and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, you should meet our dad." And I was like, I didn't know it was Dustin Hoffman. I was like, "Oh, you should meet my dad." His name's Rich. He's awesome. He's like a really striking young dad. He's cool. He's taught me lots of life lessons and stuff.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then Dustin thought I was funny, and their whole family's been really awesome to me. Lisa, they're all the nicest people. And then he got me my first audition. He was kind of saying "Oh, I'm gonna put you in a movie," and I was like, I just took it as a compliment. I never would have asked him or anything. And then I went back I'm from LA. I made boxes for the summer. It was a terrible job. You guys should avoid it if you can. And then he called me up one day and was like, "Come meet me at this house." And I went to the house and I told my boss, and I was like, "I gotta go." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I gotta go meet Dustin Hoffman at this house right now." And he's like, "What?" No, I was the guy who was making boxes. It didn't really seem like it seemed like a lie, pretty much.
Right.
And then I was like, "No, I gotta go." And he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go meet Christopher Walken at Starbucks." And then I went, and it was Dustin and Mark Wahlberg and Jason Schwartzman and Lily Tomlin, and they were reading the script for this movie, I Heart Huckabees, and then that was my first movie role.
Wow.
I had a little part in it, but.
And then what's the story? Because this is you started auditioning for sitcoms, right?
I was auditioning for sitcoms, and I didn't know. I was 19, and I would get it, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is pretty funny." But then I would stay up all night, rewriting all the jokes and and making up my own jokes. And I was like, "Oh, they're gonna love this. They're gonna love me. I totally did all this work for them." And I'd get in there and be like, "Hello, guys. All right, take a seat." And all these writers that get paid millions of dollars to write jokes. I'm like, they're like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" This isn't what we wrote. I was like, "Yeah, I rewrote it." And they're like, "Turns out." They don't really like that too much.
No.
When you're some 19-year-old kid who's never done anything.
Yeah. When you make it better, actually. Yeah. And so now, are you recognized everywhere now?
Yeah, it's pretty strange. That was the weirdest thing. I'm sure. I don't know what the specific moment was for you, because I know, but for me it was when Superbad came out, which is a movie I starred in last year. That was a lot of people saw.
Yeah.
Was kind of the main moment. That lady clapped first. I'm gonna give you respect. She clapped first. That was not. I wasn't trying to get applause, but that was sort of just everywhere I went, people would recognize me from the film. So the other night, I went to dinner with some friends, and I got an allergic reaction to something. I got hives all over me, and it was really scary. So I went to the emergency room because I was like, I should probably get this taken care of quicker rather than later, And the doctors were so the doctors came in and were like, "All right, looking at all the hives and everything, okay, you just have an allergic reaction to something, we'll give you a shot or whatever." And then 4 other doctors came in, and I got all nervous because I was like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" And then they're like, yeah, it's just an allergic reaction, yeah. And I was like, man, there's like people screaming and stuff like right next to me. It's an emergency room. Like, dude, we are so sorry. Can we take a picture with you, Jonah? And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah. And like all these doctors like in the ER, and I'm like in like a gown and stuff, and they're like, you know, taking pictures. You should save lives.
Oh, that's funny.
So sorry to all those people who died that night. I apologize. I'm just that awesome. You got to take a picture.
I'm happy to see you for so many reasons. I just admire you as a human being, as an actor, as a director. But I'm just happy to see you, and I'm so happy you made it for Cat Week. You barely made it.
I'm deathly allergic to cats.
Oh, no.
So when they asked me, do you like cats? I said, no. And in fact, if they're there, I might die. So please help me.
Yeah. No, we don't have any here.
Okay, good.
No.
Okay.
That would
and
be
I'm
cool.
really happy to be here. I am a huge fan of yours, and not only of your comedy, of yourself, what you represent, but I think you have the best taste of anybody in show business.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Design, clothing, everything. You're a style god.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing the house you're building because it looks like you have excellent taste as well.
I'm just trying to get on your level, Ellen.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing it. I also think this is really cool. You put out a magazine free of charge. Just wasting money so that people can have a magazine. But you talk about weight issues and your fluctuating weight and body shaming and you interview people. What made you want to do that?
Well, I think everybody has a version of themselves. I call it like a snapshot. Let's say at some point in your life of the person you are, you're trying to kind of hide from the world, or makes you feel a certain way. And even if you get success, or you grow up, or you become good looking, or whatever, the things that you think will fix the thing, you kind of carry some part of that with you. So for me, it's definitely being like this 14-year-old kid, being overweight, wanting to fit in with these skaters and hip hop kids, and just feeling lonely and maybe not understanding my own worth. So at the end of the magazine, it says this magazine is dedicated to this guy, and it's me standing with that picture of myself at 14. And a lot of the stuff I talk about in the magazine is basically like, I think, I came up like this, in goofy comedies and this kind of like curly-haired, overweight kid, and everyone had their own opinion on what I should be, how they could speak to me, how they could treat me. And what I found amazing about it is it was really a companion piece to writing and directing mid-90s, because to me this movie is about, learning to love yourself and finding a community of people that accepts you and how imperfect life is. And to me, it took a long time, honestly until right now, for me to come out sort of as the person, artist, mind, what I represent, how I feel, how I'd like to be spoken to, how I speak to the world in a way that actually represents who I am as a person, as opposed to me trying to be something else that I'm not.
Yeah, which is what a lot of people, we enter into this business, especially actors and actresses, first of all, looking for approval, looking for love, to fill a void, and also to kind of become other people to avoid being exactly who we are. Yeah. And a lot of people get stuck into that role playing instead of just knowing who you are. So it's very cool that you have found who you are and love who you are, because you're a brilliant man. So I'm glad you love yourself.
I'm under construction, like we all are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We are.
Like, we're all just trying to figure it out. But I will say, making things that mean something to you, for me, what I found is like, this is the first thing I've made. As an actor, you're a color in someone else's painting, right? Or when you're doing, you're acting in other people's stuff. Now this is the Ellen Show. You're doing what you want to do in your mind. It's like, that kind of thing is really freeing and empowering, because...
We'll talk about, because they need to know this. This movie is very, very cool. It almost looks like it's a documentary. It's shot in such a raw, gritty way, in the best way. And these kids don't look like they're acting. As a matter of fact, most of them aren't actors. Only one was. But explain what the movie is, because it looks like it's just a skateboard movie, but that's just an element of it.
Yeah, skateboarding is what they do, and it's what ends up bringing them together. But it's really about this kid, Stevie, the kid in the little gray shirt on the right there. And he's this lonely kid, and he's struggling to get love from his abusive older brother, played by Lucas Hedges brilliantly, and his mom, Catherine Waterston. He's kind of a latchkey kid, and it's about life.
It's really well done. I mean, congratulations! I can't believe this is your first film, and to do it in this way. So it's because it's such a, like I said, it almost feels like a documentary. And the language is very, very offensive because, and that's on purpose, because it was a certain time in life when people said things like that.
You know, I tried to make it as authentic as possible, and I thought it was way more offensive to revise history than to show it exactly how it was, and it was very deliberate. And the same thing goes for, you know, sexuality, toxic masculinity. You know, there's a sex scene in the movie, not a sex scene, but a sexual scene in the film. And for me, it was very important to show these kinds of things because I grew up skateboarding in the 90s, and it was a very toxically masculine culture, right? So my job as a filmmaker is to present that palette and not to judge it. That's for the audience to do. And it's been really interesting to show the movie to people, and it's been really interesting to hold a mirror up to a lot of the things we learned in generations past that we're now dealing with and facing currently.
Yeah. It's really, really good. I hope, I mean, it's getting great reviews. I hope a lot of people see it, but this will be the first of many films that you'll direct, I'm sure.
I hope so.